This is the M-Cube News Desk. I am Will Hemme. Good evening. Dateline, June 10th, 2025, Dellwood, Missouri. If you've never heard of Dellwood, well, Dellwood, Missouri is a town inside the St. Louis metropolitan area. Dellwood, Missouri has a relatively high crime risk compared to other areas in Missouri with a high risk of property crimes, vehicle theft, and violent crimes. Specifically, Dellwood is ranked 35th out of 314 places, indicating a higher risk than the average Missouri location. Now this.
The North St. Louis County Street, the scene of a car crash and homicide. This happened just a few hours ago at West Florissant and Chambers in Dellwood. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. Ann Allred is off tonight. Laura Barteski joins us live from the scene.
We're live here at West Florissant and Chambers. It's been a very emotional scene. We've had a lot of family of a victim nearby, so we've backed away a little bit from the intersection just to give them some space. The North County Police Cooperative and several other agencies are investigating after a car crash and shooting that followed. This all started around 3:50 this afternoon. The Police Cooperative confirmed they're conducting an active homicide investigation. They say arrests have been made. It's unclear how many. A worker at a nearby store who wanted to remain anonymous for their own safety says he saw a car hit another car and then someone got out and fired shots. The road is still closed off. They have opened up part of it. This still has been a very active scene, so there's been a lot of traffic in the area, so I would caution anyone driving through this area, and we'll keep you updated as soon as we learn more. Reporting live in St. Louis County, Laura Barteski, 5 on your side.
Now, this is not the first or last incident to happen in this area. I mean, the same night there was another car crash and a fatality and some kind of shootout. There's been all kinds of stuff going on at this corner. Anyway, let's check into First on Fox.
First on Fox, a deadly incident at a busy intersection in North County shut down traffic and drew a crowd of onlookers.
Fox's Max Deaknight is back from Dellwood with an update on that investigation. And Matt, it looked like quite a scene out there with a huge police presence.
Yeah, it was, and there were a lot of officers up there. It shut down traffic at West Florissant and Chambers for around 3 hours. Again, a very busy intersection. Here's what we know so far. A large crime scene late Tuesday afternoon in Dellwood at the busy intersection of Chambers and West Florissant. The call came in for an officer in need of aid, spurring this large active police presence blocking off the major intersection. In the middle of the road, 2 battered cars, one significantly damaged and littered with bullet holes. We can confirm a body was pulled from that car. North County police are leading the investigation and confirm one person died in this road incident and that it's connected to a homicide case. They also confirm one man was arrested. As you can see, the scene drew a large crowd. Bobby Holder lives nearby.
I definitely wanted to walk back up here to see what was going on. There was a lot of cameras and everything, so that piques my interest.
Holder, a Chicago native who attended SIUE, says this is the final straw for her.
I was already looking to move, and this solidifies my decision that I need to move.
And what is that?
I don't feel safe. This is not a safe area. I hear gunfire day and night. I hear sirens day and night. It's just not an area that I would want to.
She's from Chicago.
It was an emotional and charged scene Tuesday as that body was pulled and at least one vehicle was hauled off. Onlooker Michael Davenport shared how he felt about what he was seeing.
It's devastating, you know? And St. Louis is getting so bad that, you know, I think we need guidance for everybody. Young kids that are barely can drive, have automatic weapons and over simple things.
And we're still waiting for police to release the name and age of the person who was killed in that incident today, and we hope to have some updates for you coming up on Fox 2 News at 10 minutes.
Now we got a little update.
Justin, we'll start with that homicide investigation in North St. Louis County. Police releasing more details overnight, including the age of the victim and a man in custody this morning. Now, all of this happened Tuesday afternoon at the intersection of Chambers Road and West Florissant Avenue. Patrol officers from the North County Police Cooperative responding to several reports of shots fired and found this crash along with several spent shell casings and multiple weapons. Overnight, we learned a 19-year-old man was killed, and we now know a 23-year-old man is in custody as a suspect in this incident. But overnight, we checked court records, and there have been no charges.
Yeah, look at that car. Look, by the looks of this thing alone, I mean, he hit that Corolla real hard, spun around, hit some curbs. I mean, tore the back wheel off the rim. Front and rear bumpers are completely gone. Rear quarter is just trash. This thing is done. Not to mention the bullet holes in the windshield and all on the passenger side. But nevertheless,
filed within the past 24 hours that line up with this case, so we don't yet have a name for that suspect.
We never got the name for the suspect so far. Well, the suspect is the shooter. The shooter made it out alive. He stayed at the scene, waited for police. It seems that he shot the passenger of his car multiple times. He had a Draco with the switch. So there's over 24 shell casings on the ground. They found 3 different weapons at the scene. We don't really know what happened, but we do have this. This is a video that the shooter took instantly upon arrival. I mean, basically right after it all happened, the shooter whipped out his phone and took this video.
Jail. This nigga killed me. This nigga just tried to kill me. This nigga just tried to kill me. So before I go to jail.
Like he took a still. And that's the face. Person in custody here that the police took into custody is named SRT Sandy. That's his Instagram name. We don't have his real name. Doesn't seem to be a record of charges being filed that day. He was taken into custody and questioned. I'm thinking he's probably going to take a self-defense plea. They may not have filed any charges against him. I don't know. Once we get that information, I'll pass it along. But until then, this is probably from the back of the squad car. Definitely not the Challenger. Well, he's claiming innocence off top, which is pretty normal. At the scene, his father arrived, but I'll just show you this one. This is another video we got. This video seems to be taken from somebody, a bystander at the accident, and they were listening as his father told somewhat of the story to looks like a police detective asking him questions. But we do get some insight here.
People move back past that tape over there.
We ain't going up. He drank the wheel in the commission of the robbery, hit that car, and then as he still on the wheel, his son just shot him.
What happened? Battery on that. No distractions. Photos should be on the day. I know what happened. Don't be dead.
Your son was in the car. My son was driving the car. You asked them what happened to my son. They took him. The dude was in the car. You basically got the gun off. My son just put the gun in his face, tried to rob him, then he came to the wheel. So he shot him. I think he got out the car and shot him. All you have to ask them all that. All I know is...
Well, what we got from that is apparently the deceased person was in the car with SRT Sandy. SRT Sandy was driving, and the deceased person attempted to take control of the car and possibly put some lead into Mr. Sandy. But Sandy got the drop and took him down. I think he wrecked the car. They hit this little Toyota Corolla sitting over here in the background at this intersection, and took control of the car to some extent. They crashed, and then Mr. Sandy got out of the car and proceeded to unload into, well, now we know the gentleman's name. just came out the other day. This kid, 19-year-old Lafranz Deandre Wilson Jr. 19 years old. We don't know too much about him. We don't know anything about SRT Sandy. But as far as Mr. Wilson goes, definitely not an innocent victim here. We got a little history on my man. He doesn't have much of a criminal record. He was popped one time, racked up 6 charges in one encounter he had with police in, I think it was, what was this? 7/24/24, July 24, about a year ago. He was caught by police and racked up 6 felony charges. First one here, unlawful use of a weapon. Yeah, unlawful use of a weapon. That would be a, you know what, I'll take that back. Let's get out of order here. Here we go. There we go. All right, let's start from scratch the way they got it listed on the court report. First, tampering with a motor vehicle in the first degree. So this gentleman here was involved with car theft. And as you'll see as we move on here, there seems to be a lot of that surrounding this case. That's a felony. He resisting arrest, detention, stopped by fleeing, creating a substantial risk of serious injury to death to any person. Tells me that they might have had a little car chase. Not sure. We don't have that listed here, but that's charge number 2. Number 3, resisting and interfering with arrest for a felony, which is his own. Another felony. Unlawful possession, transport, manufacture, repair, or sale of illegal weapon, which means he got some sort of heater with a filed off serial number. Might have some bodies on it. Who knows? Number 4 here, we got, this is number 5. Possession of a controlled substance. Always got to have some drugs in the mix. So we are pretty much got the trifecta here of riding dirty. Another charge, number 6, unlawful use of a weapon. Subsection 11, possesses weapon and a felony controlled substance. So they threw the book at the boy. This is, like I said, this is back in last July. I went to court in October over all of this. He ended up, I'm pretty sure he took a plea because he pled guilty on all charges. He was just Judge Bryant, Division 23 in the 22nd Judicial Circuit Court, the city of St. Louis. They gave him a sentence of 4 years in custody, but it also is to run concurrent with a 5-year suspended sentence. So he never went to jail. He walked back out, went back home after this, and continued probably to stay knee deep in the car theft game. So as a carjacker or as a basic thief, either one, your boy had it coming. He just doing it that way. Something was bound to happen. So he made it another year. And we don't know for sure what happened in this situation, but it seems like he was trying to carjack, backdoor Mr. SRT Sandy, and just basically did not have the skills to pull it off. So we got a, let's see, what do we have here? We have, don't worry about it. But anyway, as we move on now, who is this Mr. SRT Sandy? Well, find out he was a football player. Seems to be a decent kid. He's 23 years old, but he did not go to college to play football. He instead turned himself into some sort of an auto mechanic. We have a little footage here of his SRT page. Let me check this out.
Rear end over there. Yeah. I was gonna wobble about this, but they ended up not winning at the end, so they just gonna throw all this stuff on. But yeah, this second gen coming on. finna start.
What we see here is Mr. SRT Sandy has some sort of shop going on. It doesn't look like a retail professional shop with insurance and, paying taxes, none of that. I don't see that happening here, but he's got some sort of shop here with a bunch of Mopar parts laying all over the place. And he seems to be the type to do lots and lots of swaps. In other words, taking drivetrains, high-end drivetrains out of one car and putting them into a low-end car, such as a V6 Charger Challenger 300. He had a pretty good list of cars that he has done and stuff he's planning to do. He has Hellcat drivetrains laying all around the shop, which, as a, somewhat of a mechanic myself, man, I'd have fun in that shop. I tell you I would. He's got plenty of parts put together, 4 or 5 nice cars in there. Now, mind you, this is not simple like changing brakes. This is serious. When you put a Hellcat drivetrain into a V6 Challenger, you have got to do a lot to it. It's not just a matter of taking the engine out, putting another engine in. You have to take the entire front subframe apart. You have to gut the car. You need to change the whole wiring harness. Use the computers and dashboard, fuel tank, and all kind of stuff from the donor car that has come in, however it's come in. Usually it's a wrecked one, and you buy it cheap at the salvage yard, but wrecked Hellcats don't hang around long, and they're hard to come by. But he's gotten his hands on plenty of Hellcat parts, and he's swapping them into these V6 cars. Hellcat drivetrain, Scat Pack drivetrain, 392s, stuff like that. And I mean, that takes a lot of skill to be able to do it. That's a big job, and he seems to be turning them out pretty quick.
Start stripping this down. I'm gonna start the process of that, and then when I get probably the interior or some other little stuff done, then I'll go ahead and start recording again. I'm gonna stop this for now, and then I'll let y'all see it. And then it's a good 5.7 with a bag trim, but it's already spoken for, so. That's that, but here's where we at with this cat swap, y'all. We got the upper control arms and all that took off. The shock tower is unbolted. That's basically what I do when I do the swaps. Unbolt all that shit, drop the cradle, do the stuff in the back, the top shocks, drop the cradle, all of that shit from under. And then point taking it all apart if you ain't got to, you know what I'm saying? Work smarter, not harder.
Well, anyway, as we look around, we can see he likes to do these swaps. I mean, he's got a lot of business. And on top of the swaps, my man also big on the takeover stuff. He's out there doing donuts and having a good old time with these swaps. None of it looks too good. I don't know what you want to do with this, but I'm sure that the police are probably going to be digging into his business along with other things, and we might not hear from the man for a while. I don't know. Seems to be going through. But anyway, this the crash that happened on Florissant and Chambers was pretty violent. Let's take a look at that. As you can see, we got the intersection here. As Mr. SRT Sandy and Mr. Wilson Jr. were in the car tussling, they say he grabbed his steering wheel and forced the car into doing some crazy stuff, and maybe even Mr. SRT Sandy decided to take the car and try to crash and get the other gentleman off his, knock him on his heels a little bit or something. But they end up crashing out against a small Toyota Corolla. Now, the damage on the Corolla really looks like it was hit from the front. If you take a good look at it, you see there's no other real damage on this Corolla except for this impact here on the passenger side. And if you look close into the door, you can see that the skin on the door is forced backwards towards the back of the car, which means whatever hit it, which was the Challenger, and I believe it was the Challenger's front right side, hit this car, possibly making a left turn in front of them, didn't see him coming, and they go to the left side and just tag him, spin around, and then they end up on the Challenger ends up across the street, spunt around the other way, and it looks like his rear end hit a bunch of stuff as it was spinning, because his whole rear end is shifted over to the right. You can see the wrinkles in the quarter panel on the backside. The left side wheels coming off. It's just a mess. So I'm thinking they did some sort of head-on offset crash and ended up in this position. This intersection is known for high-speed crashes, to be honest. I've found a lot of different reports of bad crashes going on at this intersection, but nevertheless, that's all we got for now. Well, I'll take it back. This is the car that was involved in the crash. It looked like a cinnamon stick, orange Challenger. Now, as good as Mr. SRT Sandy is at building these cars up, who knows what this car started life as. But it looks like he's on the way building it up, because I don't see any, what do you call that, indentations or holes when you have the wide body on the rear end. The fender has little holes in it for the wide body kit to stick onto it. There's nothing there. So this car was not born a wide body. And if it's a red eye, not red eye, it has some smooth red eyes too, so who knows. But the front end is wide bodied out, so we don't know for sure what this car began life as. The front says red eye, or possibly a 717 horse later model Hellcat could have started this way. But like I said, all we got is a little bit of stuff on this car. Now, we have one photo of this car with the New York license plate, the New York custom, what do you call it? Personalized license plate. Now, we're in St. Louis. Who knows? But if anybody in New York is missing this car, that's where it is. It's in a yard somewhere in St. Louis. Got a couple other little pictures of some of the antics that Mr. SRT Sandy has been involved in, I guess in the middle of building this car. At one point, it had a silver back end to it, or possibly these parts came and they were put on. Man, who knows? But anyway, the case goes on. The case continues. There's no new updates now, but we will keep you informed on anything we find out about this case. But we know we have one teenager down and another one who could be facing time. But until we get any updates, like I said, we'll keep an eye on everything and let you know as we get more info. Thank you for watching. Good night.